Hey y'all, it's Jenny Mosley, and we are here live with the Elevate Effect. It's time to take the dental field to a whole nother level. Fly with me, folks. Let's get real and let's get uncomfortable. And here we are, folks. Boom.
Happy to be back. It's
Three
been
times
too
the
long.
charm, baby. So yeah, Ryan, you missed last week and
the week before that.
And the week before that. But you've been doing some great things. And we choose our careers because dentistry is hard to, dentistry is just so unique that it's hard to replicate what you do in dentistry in your normal day-to-day life. And a lot of things about Ryan people don't know, but I think that it kind of exudes what you do everywhere. And he does this really cool, I'm going to say it and you're going to correct me so you can go screw yourself. He does this cool driving around loops and goes in mountains and stuff like that. But he doesn't just do it because he likes speed. I think, and let me see if I do this right, but you correct me because I think it's cool. And but this group of people have specific cars that are not just for getting muddy or not just for getting. I mean, they have uniqueness and classicness, if that's even a word, about it. It just has this whole entire picture. They do rides that are long, almost like I grew up with my parents and they rode Harleys and they would go out to Sturgis and all that kind of stuff. And, truly, when someone says that you hear of a Harley bike rider, you have this picture that I did not grow up with. They love classic stuff. They love the noise of it. They love, and it reminds me of that's what you do. They go to the mountains. They would go for days and just go through these beautiful mountains because they loved the way it rode. They loved the way that all different things. And that's kind of how we connected you in dentistry.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I've got this purpose. I'm fortunate enough to be in a position where I can do something that I've always wanted to do, but hadn't had the opportunity in the last maybe 10 years up until maybe 3 to 5 years ago. Really had the ability to procure some pretty spectacular cars that I then purpose built to do a certain thing, which is do these rally drives, which they're not races, but they're high speed precision driving through the mountains where you don't know where the turn is, how fast to take the turn. If you miss the turn, you're off the cliff. I mean, no, I'm not being stupid. We're safe, but there is a level of danger.
Well, you're also not just doing it with just, hey, let's just go meet the mountains, guys. I mean, you all have specific cars with specific builds of them. Yeah. I mean, it's really cool.
Well, I think we're going to get into this, and what this is kind of coming into is who you surround yourselves with. So I was fortunate enough to be invited to this event, which is an invite only, and it's all through word of mouth, and you're vetted by the rally master, if you will, or the gentleman putting on this event. And what I've found when I've gone there is, without exception, every person there has achieved something in their life, a level of success. And I know you can define that in a bunch of different ways, but a level of success, but also stayed so humble, so approachable, so thankful. And it's aspirational for me to be there because it makes me want to be a better person in my own life. And it's not, and I don't even know how to explain it. It's just, you want to be around these people because they make you feel better, not because they're patting you on the back, but just because they exude positive energy, and they've worked their tails off in order to take 3 or 4 days away from their business. Most of them own their own businesses. And if they don't, then they've started companies and sold them, or they work in all different fields. Anyway, the point being, sorry, tangent.
It's unbelievable how long it takes them to tell a story,
okay,
folks.
well, they can edit that part out. But point being,
I had to sit through it.
who do you surround yourself with? Now, I fell into this group and am just continuing to meet people in my life that I want to be around more. Those people are people that inspire me to be better, to want more, to grow, and to be also very thankful and appreciative of all that I have and all that I've just all that I have,
Well,
and
it's
and
funny.
it makes it worth it.
We look for inspirational things to talk about, not necessarily. And I hate the word inspirational because I mean, we look for things to connect normal business to dental business to personal business, and then talk about it because all of us can grow for it. And the personal and professional motivational thing was from Warren Buffett, which we all know who he is. And if you don't know who he is, then you better look it up. But and the really interesting about his story is that he never ever goes to functions or parties or the point of what I'm trying to say is he is one of the most successful people in the world, and he didn't do it as what everyone claims how you have to do it. He did it the way he wanted to do it. He was himself. We were talking about it in our morning meeting the other day because he in one of his books he tells the story where he's like a multi-billionaire, and every morning he stops by a fast food, which I disagree with, but at least the story is beautiful. And depending on where the stocks are, it depends on what he gets at McDonald's. So these are going to spend $6, $4, or $1. And he's a billionaire. And that his choice is dependent on how he's doing that day. And it's just incredible. And he really only surrounds himself with family. I mean, all his businesses, they have Christmas functions, all these functions. He never goes to any of them. And he said a statement that I think is so powerful. So Ryan and I wanted to incorporate that today, hence where his story came from. And it's really unique how Ryan got out, what he got out of it, and kind of what I got out of it is opposite, but not. So Warren Buffett says this: your financial future will largely be determined by one factor. Now, what's interesting about this quote is it isn't one factor, it's two. Did you recognize that? Let me say it again. I was like, that's two things, but whatever. Okay. The people you choose to connect with and the systems you follow. Like, that's two to me, but he's smarter than me. So I guess it's one, if any, for success. So, and I sent this because, oh my gosh. My initial description of this was straight to business. And that's probably because that's all I ever think about. It's so pathetic. I when I was really, really young, I made a personal life decision younger than normal people wouldn't. And at that time, I decided professionally, I wasn't mature enough. So I made a big personal decision. And a lot of people, like we have a lot of younger generation folks in our team right now, which is very difficult for me. I'm really struggling. I'm trying. And I'm recognizing that our building is so powerful. They're very young. They're making a very big professional decision at a young age. And because again, our office is almost like you've been in a career 20 years. It really is. It's a very hard place to work. How about I say this? It's just challenging. And to be in your mid 20s, that ain't easy. And so when I read this quote, I think to myself that, the power of what it says, when you're in your mid 20s and you're hanging around folks like us, I can't imagine the pressure that you already that you're feeling already, like the expectations that we have in this building. And, because I'm really trying to understand them. And if anybody out there, I mean, I'm sure all of you guys, or all two of you, are having experiences with hard generations to lead. It's really hard, Ryan. I mean, and I mean, just to probably even have an assistant, but it's really hard. And I've got an incredible thing in Jordan because she's an old soul and she really is humble to admit it a lot. A lot of them don't. And she says there's a lot of fear in them. There's a lot of personal, they take everything very personally and very defensive. That's why they don't commit to a lot of things, because the minute it gets hard, they quit and they go to something else. And it's just this. So our practice, it creates everything opposite of that. And so when I read this thing, and I'll say it again, your financial future. So to me, like, to me, when you start a sentence with my finances, I get real spun up. I'm so protective of that, yet am I? Because I give it all away. It will largely be determined by the people you choose to connect with and the systems you follow. And we've struggled for so long to have a specific system in here. And because it was here and it's not here. And I fought against admitting it for so long because I'm very protective of it. And I couldn't realize what it was. But like he said, oh, I just had an aha moment. Bing. Because listen, this is one factor. It's just two things. For example, you have to have both. I just realized that because we are in it. We have a system, but we have people that don't do it. So it may still be here, but it doesn't mean it's gone. It just means not everyone's doing it. So that means it is gone. So it could be that once we have the people that are going to connect themselves to do it, we recognize it never really went away. It's just not being done. To me, those are two different things. I don't know if y'all are struggling with either getting ahead in the business or having, like, you have a good month, then you have a bad month, then you have a good couple months, and you have 3 bad months. And if you ever wonder, are you looking around who you're allowing help make decisions for you? Are you looking around your marketing team, your partner, your home, your life, there's, like, to me, we have this melanoma thing going on, and I'm pissed as shit because I'm kicking my ass to do this thing. And I'm like, I find out that these girls aren't doing it. So, you should. I railed on these MFers people. I was like, listen, I literally looked and they were bawling their eyes out after this meeting. Like, "Ah." And I was like, I don't really give a shit. You didn't realize that you basically let me down. You let our team down. You let a patient with melanoma down because you're lazy. Are you shitting me? Get the fuck up. I do. I wake up every Sunday morning when it's my only day to sleep in. And I want to lay there, and I get up at 5:45 and I go run 8 miles before church, before Publix, before my kid, because that's called dedication to
that's hardcore.
So I railed on them. Oh yeah, that night they all ran a damn mile. But I believe that I recognized that this quote is so true. It's just our words and our leadership style in that generation is the people they need around. We can't just be a body. We have to be a body that leads. And it's hard because after a while, and you've been doing this so long, it's tiring. It's tiring to have to do this over and over again. Oh. And so, like this quote is taking me on so many different tangents because we're also in another transition that we're working on. And I would love to utilize this moment to talk with Reeves. Here we go. This is always great, though. It's a space
this is
that
great. Love this.
I feel like I enter these.
Okay. Down the rabbit hole.
Well, Reeves, here's the thing. Now, I could go through a lot of different emotions. Like, Reeves and I cry together. We laugh together. We've had some cocktails together. And we've never really sat at a bar, but maybe we should one day. We might need a cab ride home to our houses, but yeah, 1,000%. Okay. But this building is so much to me. And this new transition, I've always known it, but this new transition is making me realize it even more. And I'm disgusted in a sense that there is even an ounce of negotiation that comes with a legacy. It sickens me, right? It sickens me that I can't say, here's an opportunity of a fucking lifetime. And I'm sick about it. I'm not sleeping because I'm mortified that is this my fault? Like, you know, what did I do? Like that, and that's how I constantly think. What did I do to represent this any other motherfucker way? What did I do to make it seem that this is not an opportunity? All right, guys. Well, lots of information we went over. That was the end of part 1. Stay tuned. We got a whole nother section of part 2 coming next week.